This video is scripted and edited and written by Nehor Dash. This video is scripted and edited and written by Nehor Dash. List of Indian Prime Minister which is written by Nehor Dash for public domain purpose only. Narendra Modi is the current and 14th Prime Minister of India who assumed office on the 26th of May 2014. Jawaharlal Nehru is the first and the longest-serving Prime Minister of India, while Indira Gandhi is the first and only female Prime Minister of India. Check the list of all Prime Ministers of India. List of all Prime Ministers of India. Narendra Modi is the current and 14th Prime Minister of India. He would become the fourth Indian Prime Minister to serve 2 consecutive terms on the post and would be the first non-Congress Prime Minister of India who would complete 2 consecutive terms. In this we have mentioned the list of all the Prime Ministers of India from 1947 to 2022. So here is our list which is written by Nehor Dash for public domain purpose only. 1. Jawaharlal Nehru. 1. Jawaharlal Nehru. 1. Jawaharlal Nehru, the 14th of November 1889 – the 27th of May 1964, commonly known as Pandit, was an Indian anti-colonial nationalist, secular humanist, social democrat, 2, and author who was a central figure in India during the middle of the 20th century. Nehru was a principal leader of the Indian nationalist movement in the 1930s and 1940s. Upon India's independence in 1947, he served as the country's prime minister for 17 years. Nehru promoted parliamentary democracy, secularism, and science and technology during the 1950s, powerfully influencing India's arc as a modern nation. In international affairs, he steered India clear of the 2 blocks of the Cold War. A well-regarded author, his books written in prison, such as Letters from a Father to His Daughter, 1929, an autobiography, 1936, and The Discovery of India, 1946, have been read around the world. 2. Gulzarlal Nanda. 2. Gulzarlal Nanda. 2. Gulzarlal Nanda, the 4th of July 1898 – the 15th of January 1998. 1. 2. Was an Indian politician and economist who specialized in labor issues. He was the interim Prime Minister of India for 2 13-day stints following the deaths of Jawaharlal Nehru in 1964 and Lal Bahadur Shastri in 1966 respectively. Both his terms ended after the ruling Indian National Congress's parliamentary party elected a new Prime Minister. He was awarded the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian award. In the author Nanda was born on the 4th of July 1898 in Silkut in the Punjab, British India in a Punjabi Hindu Khatri family. 3. Silkut later became a part of the Punjab province of Pakistan in 1947, after the partition of India. Nanda received his education in Lahore, Amritsar, Agra, and Prayagraj. 3. Lal Bahadur Shastri. 3. Lal Bahadur Shastri. 3. Lal Bahadur Shastri, 2nd October 1904 to 11 January 1966, was an Indian politician and statesman who served as the second Prime Minister of India from 1964 to 1966 and 6th Home Minister of India from 1961 to 1963. He promoted the White Revolution, a national campaign to increase the production and supply of milk, by supporting the Amul Milk Cooperative of Anand, Gujarat and creating the National Dairy Development Board. Underlining the need to boost India's food production, Shastri also promoted the Green Revolution in India in 1965. This led to an increase in food grain production, especially in the states of Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. Shastri was born to Sharada Prasad Srivastava and Ranjalari Devi in Mughalsarai on the 2nd of October 1904. He studied in East Central Railway Inter College and Harish Chandra High School, which he left to join the non-cooperation movement. He worked for the betterment of the Harijans at Muzaffarpur and dropped his caste-derived surname of Srivastava. Shastri's thoughts were influenced by reading about Swami Vivekananda, Gandhi and Annie Besant. Deeply impressed and influenced by Gandhi, he joined the Indian independence movement in the 1920s. He served as the president of Servants of the People. Forgultsarilal Nanda Forgultsarilal Nanda Forgultsarilal Nanda, the 4th of July 1898 the 15th of January 1998, 2, was an Indian politician and economist who specialized in labor issues. He was the interim Prime Minister of India for two 13-day stints following the deaths of Jawaharlal Nehru in 1964 and Lal Bahadur Shastri in 1966 respectively. Both his terms ended after the ruling Indian National Congress's parliamentary party elected a new Prime Minister. He was awarded the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian award. In Nanda was born on the 4th of July 1898 in Silkat in the Punjab, British India in a Punjabi Hindu Khatri family. 3. Silkat later became a part of the Punjab province of Pakistan in 1947, after the partition of India. Nanda received his education in Lahore, Amritsar, Agra, and Prayagraj. 5. Indira Priyadarshini Gandhi 5. Indira Priyadarshini Gandhi 5. Indira Priyadarshini Gandhi Nehru 19th November 1917 to 31 October 1984, was an Indian politician and a central figure of the Indian National Congress. She was elected as third Prime Minister of India in 1966 and was also the first and, to date, only female Prime Minister of India. Gandhi was the daughter of Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India. She served as Prime Minister from January 1966 to March 1977 and again from January 1980 until her assassination in October 1984, making her the second longest-serving Indian Prime Minister after her father. During Nehru's premiership from 1947 to 1964, Gandhi was considered a key assistant and accompanied him on his numerous foreign trips. She was elected President of the Indian National Congress in 1959. Upon her father's death in 1964, she was appointed as a member of the Rajya Sabha, Upper House, and became a member of Lal Bahadur Shastri's cabinet as Minister of Information and Broadcasting. In the Congress Party's parliamentary leadership election held in early 1966, upon the death of Shastri, she defeated her rival Morarji Desai to become leader, and thus succeeded Shastri, after his death, as Prime Minister of India. 6. Morarji Ranghodi Desai 6. Morarji Ranghodi Desai 6. Morarji Ranghodi Desai, the 29th of February 1896 the 10th of April 1995, 2, was an Indian independence activist and politician who served as the fourth Prime Minister of India between 1977 to 1979, leading the government formed by the Janata Party. During his long career in politics, he held many important posts in government such as Chief Minister of Bombay State, Home Minister, Finance Minister and Second Deputy Prime Minister of India. Following the death of Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri, Desai was a strong contender for the position of Prime Minister, only to be defeated by Indira Gandhi in 1966. He was appointed as Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance in Indira Gandhi's cabinet, until 1969. He resigned from the Congress during the split of 1969, and joined the incorporated O. After the controversial emergency was lifted in 1977, the political parties of the opposition fought together against the Congress, under the umbrella of the Janata Party, and won the 1977 election. Desai was elected Prime Minister, and became the first non-Congress Prime Minister of India. 7. Chaudhary Charan Singh 7. Chaudhary Charan Singh 7. Chaudhary Charan Singh, 23 December 1902 to 29 May 1987, served as the fifth Prime Minister of India between the 28th. 8. Indira Priyadarshini Gandhi 8. Indira Priyadarshini Gandhi 8. Indira Priyadarshini Gandhi Nehru 19th November 1917 to 31 October 1984, was an Indian politician and a central figure of the Indian National Congress. She was elected as third Prime Minister of India in 1966 and was also the first and, to date, only female Prime Minister of India. Gandhi was the daughter of Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India. She served as Prime Minister from January 1966 to March 1977 and again from January 1980 until her assassination in October 1984, making her the second longest-serving Indian Prime Minister after her father. During Nehru's premiership from 1947 to 1964, Gandhi was considered a key assistant and accompanied him on his numerous foreign trips. 9 Rajiv Gandhi 9 Rajiv Gandhi 9 Rajiv Gandhi, the 20th of August 1944 the 21st of May 1991. 3 was an Indian politician who served as the 6th Prime Minister of India from 1984 to 1989. He took office after the 1984 assassination of his mother, then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, to become the youngest Indian Prime Minister at the age of 40. Gandhi was from the politically powerful Nehru Gandhi family, which had been associated with the Indian National Congress Party. For much of his childhood, his maternal grandfather Jawaharlal Nehru was Prime Minister. Gandhi attended college in the United Kingdom. He returned to India in 1966 and became a professional pilot for the state-owned Indian Airlines. In 1968, he married Sonia Gandhi. The couple settled in Delhi to a domestic life with their children Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. For much of the 1970s, his mother Indira Gandhi was Prime Minister and his brother Sanjay Gandhi an MP. Despite this, Rajiv Gandhi remained apolitical. After Sanjay's death in a plane crash in 1980, Gandhi reluctantly entered politics at the behest of Indira. The following year he won his brother's parliamentary seat of Amethi and became a member of the Lok Sabha, the lower house of India's parliament. As part of his political grooming, Rajiv was made General Secretary of the Congress Party and given significant responsibility in organising the 1982 Asian Games. 10 Vishwanath Pratap Singh Award 10 Vishwanath Pratap Singh Award 10 Vishwanath Pratap Singh Award, the 25th of June 1931 the 27th of November 2008, shortened to VP Singh, was an Indian politician who was the 7th Prime Minister of India from 1989 to 1992, and the 41st Rajabhaja of Manda. 3. He is India's only Prime Minister to have been former royalty. Citation needed. He was educated at the Allahabad University and Fergusson College in Pune. 4. In 1969, he joined the Indian National Congress Party and was elected as a member of the Uttar Pradesh Legislative Assembly. 5. In 1971, he became a Member of Parliament in the Lok Sabha. He served as the Minister of Commerce from 1976 to 1977. Citation needed. In 1980, he became the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh and was known for the encounter of the gang of Pholan Devi. Citation needed. In the Rajiv Gandhi ministry, Singh was given various cabinet posts, including Minister of Finance and Minister of Defence. Singh was also the leader of the Rajya Sabha from 1984 to 1987. During his tenure as Minister of Defence, the Bofors scandal came to light, and Singh resigned from the ministry. In 1988, he formed the Janata Dal Party by merging various factions of the Janata Party. In the 1989 elections, the National Front, with the support of the Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, formed the government and Singh became the 8th Prime Minister of India. 11 Chandrasekhar Singh Solanki 11 Chandrasekhar Singh Solanki 11 Chandrasekhar Singh Solanki, the 17th of April 1927 the 8th of July 2007, was an Indian politician who served as the 8th Prime Minister of India between 10 November 1990 and 21 June 1991. He headed a minority government of a breakaway faction of the Janata Dal with outside support from the Indian National Congress. 1. He was the first Indian Prime Minister who had never held any government office. 2. His government was largely seen as a puppet. 3, 4, and lame duck, and the government was formed with the fewest party MPs in the Lok Sabha. 5, 6. His government could not pass the budget. 7. At a crucial time when Modi had downgraded India, and it further went down after the budget was not passed. and global credit rating agencies further downgraded India from investment grade, making it impossible to even get short-term loans, and in no position to give any commitment to reform. The World Bank and IMF stopped their assistance. SCA had to authorize mortgaging of gold to avoid default of payment, and this action came in for particular criticism, as it was done secretly in the midst of the election. 8, 9, 10. The 1991 Indian economic crisis and the assassination of Rajuv Gandhi plunged his government into crisis. But according to Subramanian Swamy, Finance Minister Yashwant Sinha mortgaged gold reserves without informing the Commerce Ministry, which was headed by Swamy. 11. But granting the permission for U.S. military planes to refuel in Indian airports during the Gulf War improved the Prime Minister's image with the West. 12. Pamela Parthivankata Narasimha Rao 12. Pamela Parthivankata Narasimha Rao 12. Pamela Parthivankata Narasimha Rao, 28 June 1921 to 23 December 2004, was an Indian lawyer and politician who served as the 9th Prime Minister of India from 1991 to 1996. He is often referred to as the father of Indian economic reforms. 1. 2. His ascendancy to the prime ministership was politically significant in that he was the second holder of this office from a non-Hindi-speaking region and the first from South India. He led an important administration, overseeing a major economic transformation and several home incidents affecting national security of India. 3. Rao, who held the industries portfolio, was personally responsible for the dismantling of the Licence Raj, as this came under the purview of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, reversing the economic policies of Rajiv Gandhi's government. 4. Future Prime Ministers Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Manmohan Singh continued the economic reform policies pioneered by Rao's government. He employed Manmohan Singh as his finance minister to embark on historic economic transition. With Rao's mandate, Manmohan Singh launched India's globalization angle of the reforms that implemented the International Monetary Fund, IMF, policies to rescue the almost bankrupt nation from economic collapse. 4. Rao was also referred to as Chanakya for his ability to steer economic and political legislation through the parliament at a time when he headed a minority government. 13. Atal Bihari Vajpayee 13. Atal Bihari Vajpayee 13. Atal Bihari Vajpayee the 25th of December 1924 the 16th of August 2018, was an Indian politician and diplomat who served 3 terms as the Prime Minister of India, first for a term of 13 days in 1996, then for a period of 13 months from 1998 to 1999, followed by a full term from 1999 to 2004. Vajpayee was one of the co-founders and a senior leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP. He was a member of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, a Hindu nationalist volunteer organization. He was the first Indian Prime Minister not of the Indian National Congress to serve a full term in office. He was also a renowned poet and a writer. 14. Haradana Holi Dogdegoda Devegowda 14. Haradana Holi Dogdegoda Devegowda 14. Haradana Holi Dogdegoda Devegowda, born the 18th of May 1933, 2, is an Indian politician from the state of Karnataka. He served as the 11th Prime Minister of India from the 1st of June 1996 to the 21st of April 1997. 3. 4. He was previously the 14th Chief Minister of Karnataka from 1994 to 1996. He presently is a Member of Parliament in the Rajya Sabha representing Karnataka. He is the National President of the Janata Dal, secular, party. 5. Born in a farming family, he joined the Indian National Congress Party in 1953, and remained a member until 1962. He was imprisoned during the emergency. He became president of the state unit of Janata Dal in 1994, and was considered to be a driving force in the party's victory in Karnataka. He served as the 14th Chief Minister of Karnataka from 1994 to 1996. 15. Inda Kumagral 15. Inda Kumagral 15. Inda Kumagaral Inda Kumagral, 4th December 1919 to 30 November 2012, was an Indian diplomat, politician and freedom activist who served as the 12th Prime Minister of India from April 1997 to March 1998. 2. Born in Punjab, he was influenced by nationalistic ideas as a student, and joined the All India Students' Federation and the Communist Party of India. He was imprisoned for taking part in the Quit India movement. After independence, he joined the Indian National Congress Party in 1964, and became a Member of Parliament in the Rajya Sabha. He was the Minister of Information and Broadcasting during the emergency. In 1976, he was appointed the Ambassador of India to the Soviet Union. In 1996, he became the Minister of External Affairs in the Deve Gowda ministry, and developed the Gruel Doctrine during this period. He was appointed the 12th Prime Minister of India in 1997. His tenure lasted for less than a year. He retired from all political positions in 1998. He died in 2012 at the age of 92, following hospitalization due to a lung infection. 16 Atal Bihari Vajpayee 16 Atal Bihari Vajpayee 16 Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Hindustani pronunciation the 25th of December 1924 the 16th of August 2018, was an Indian politician and diplomat who served 3 terms as the Prime Minister of India, first for a term of 13 days in 1996, then for a period of 13 months from 1998 to 1999, followed by a full term from 1999 to 2004. Vajpayee was one of the co-founders and a senior leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP. He was a member of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, a Hindu nationalist volunteer organization. He was the first Indian Prime Minister not of the Indian National Congress to serve a full term in office. He was also a renowned poet and a writer. He was a member of the Indian Parliament for over 5 decades, having been elected 10 times to the Lok Sabha, the lower house, and twice to the Rajya Sabha, the upper house. He served as the Member of Parliament for Lucknow, retiring from active politics in 2009 due to health concerns. He was among the founding members of the Bharatiya Janata Sangh, BJS, of which he was president from 1968 to 1972. 17 Manmohan Singh 17 Manmohan Singh 17 Manmohan Singh Punjabi born the 26th of September 1932, is an Indian politician, economist and statesman who was the 13th Prime Minister of India from 2004 to 2014. He is also the longest-serving Prime Minister after Jawaharlal Nehru and Indira Gandhi. A member of the Indian National Congress, Singh was the first Sikh Prime Minister of India. He was also the first Prime Minister since Jawaharlal Nehru to be re-elected after completing a full 5-year term. Born in Garh, West Punjab, in what is today Pakistan, Singh's family migrated to India during its partition in 1947. After obtaining his doctorate in economics from Oxford, Singh worked for the United Nations during 1966 to 1969. He subsequently began his bureaucratic career when Lalit Narayan Mishra hired him as an advisor in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. During the 1970s and 1980s, Singh held several key posts in the Government of India, such as Chief Economic Advisor, 1972 to 1976, Governor of the Reserve Bank, 1982 to 1985, and Head of the Planning Commission, 1985 to 1987. 18 Narendra Modi 18 Narendra Modi 18 Narendra Modi Gujarati born the 17th of September 1950, is an Indian politician serving as the 14th and current Prime Minister of India since 2014. Modi was the Chief Minister of Gujarat from 2001 to 2014 and is the Member of Parliament from Varanasi. He is a member of the Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, and of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, RSS, a right-wing Hindu nationalist paramilitary volunteer organization. He is the first Prime Minister to have been born after India's independence in 1947 and the second Prime Minister not belonging to the Indian National Congress to have won 2 consecutive majorities in the Lok Sabha, or the lower house of India's parliament. He is also the longest-serving Prime Minister from a non-Congress party.